I purposely worked with a second grade teacher, Mary, in our building because she sees one of our students in the classroom, like he goes down with his aide, Andrew does. And if I was doing what she was doing in science that month, then he would have a leg up when he walked in that door. And that's the biggest piece Chris and I talk about, is having a prepackaged thing that already does the legwork for you, okay? The prepackaged thing may not be teaching what my gen ed teacher's doing at that month. And so if I'm talking about habitats for a whole month, but walking down there, they're talking about solar system, there'd be no way Andrew would have a leg up when he walked in that door. But because I drilled and practiced stuff in my room and had a lot of fun with it, and the solar system was hanging from my ceiling, literally from, Andrew was able to walk in that gen ed door, do a moon project with his typical peers, present on his moon project with his typical peers, with his aide, and be just included naturally.
Now is a great time to educate our principals and our administrators, and we're very lucky because we have worked with many different people and many different individuals, and so every time we see somebody, we say, look what I did today, or did you check it out in the hallway? It doesn't matter who it is, but as soon as somebody walks in, we're like, hey, you have to come down and see what we did today. Or like, right, and you know, we say we're not trying to toot our own horns, but but at that same time, people, gen ed teachers who have very little interest in or interaction, I should say, working with children in our classroom, they're now coming down and said, your kids did this? Right. And we can say those things. And so now all of a sudden we've opened up that door so that we can have those conversations and say, they did do this, and guess what? Next year they're going to be at your grade level, and guess what? We're going to be working in your room. Right. And so we have been able to work with a lot of different teachers and stuff, but everybody comes from a different background, and so they're not always aware of what students with varying needs and abilities can do. And so I think that's what the exciting thing about everything is now. And I know even in our building alone, we do a day at towards the end of the year. And families and the community is invited into the building to see what students have completed. And so our students are right into that mix. So last year, one thing that the 1 grade level does every year is they build a whole town. Well, guess what? Our kids were part of that town, and every kid had built a building and a house or the pet store. We had Kids City. Right. Right. And so our kids were part of that town, but then they were also part of a project that another grade level had done, because we were able to kind of do those things, and we kind of just insert ourselves. We just keep going at it every day.
Yeah. Be your own cheerleader.